Frank. Blink of an eye, things have gone amok.
What a pansy.
Just a bit outside.
Sometimes may be good, sometimes may be shit.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Episode 2. This is Tea Time 102 of the Just a Bit Outside podcast. My name is Jason Knack, here with Brian Heichel. We're excited to be back for episode 2. We haven't been canceled yet, so that's good. After our first episode, we're doing all right. We're doing all right. Want to say thanks for listening in to all 35 views that we have so far of episode 1. Today we are recording this while watching the Masters on a Sunday. It's about 1:30, and we're doing this right before Rory and Bryson really tee off. So we're going to get into that a little bit later. But we want to talk about really quick how we did not have on Matt and Nick last week from BMG Group. Listen, this is show business, guys, and we got to adapt. And there were some scheduling conflicts, and that happens in the biz. You just roll with the punches, and you figure it out. So we've done that, and so welcome back. It's episode 2.
Matt and Nick are dead to us too now.
They're so dead.
They've missed their chance to be on the show.
Maybe they're in for a rain date, possibly. But anyway, so we sent it out to the league, and we do really want your guys' feedback. This is a work in progress podcast. For example, Jake's snotty email about the stupid fucking logo was perfect. That's exactly what we want, open and honesty, because you're going to get my honesty. So we do appreciate that, and we want the feedback, guys. So like I said, this is Tea Time 102, and Brian, you want to tell people what that means?
Yeah, so Tea Time means the one for season 1, and the minutes are our episode numbers. So 101 was our first one, 102 is our second one. So that's our little naming convention after what normally a tea time would be for going to the golf course.
I don't get it.
I know. It's just go with it. I'll tell you what episode, what tea time we're at.
Shake my head,
and you'll be able to just read the script.
We'll just do it live.
Go from there.
We'll just do it live. All right,
exactly,
perfect. Good.
Exactly.
Also, on that note, with the feedback, again, shout out to Kevin Stroll bringing back the newsletter for the league. Much appreciated on his efforts there. And we would like to plug his new section titled Toast, Ghost, and Roast. So if you guys haven't had a chance to read it and check it out, please do. But essentially, the description is, we're one brave golfer. They're going to get their swing dissected for everyone's entertainment. We're going to give a toast for what's working, call out the ghost, which is going to be the swing flaws that haunt them. And then we're going to finish it with a roast because, listen, golf is brutal, and making fun of each other is how we survive it. As Stroll would say, think of it as golf therapy, but meaner. And this week, we did feature Kurt for week 1. And Kurt had a hell of a week, so go check it out. Good plug there. But thank you again, Kevin Stroll, for doing the newsletter again, and go check out his new section. And before we get into last week's action of week 1, we would also like to mention our sponsor for this week's episode. And again, these guys are what fund us, what keeps us going, so we can talk BS every week about our league. And that sponsor is Lefty's Lawn Chairs, because when you're left-handed, everything's backwards anyway, which is a great segue into who our guest is going to be this week, which is Steve Talon, so our solo lefty of the week, or of the league. All right, so let's get into the action from last week. So I'm going to let Brian take it away here. Last week, we started week 1 of the golf league. It was cold. It was 42 degrees maybe, I think, when we teed off, but we made it happen. It was a brisk day. The wind was fine. It wasn't too bad for us. I thought it was good. But Brian's going to go ahead and give us a little recap of the matches from last week. So take it away, man.
Yeah. No, shout out to Paladine Hills, too. They were closed all day, and as the temperature got over 42 degrees, they were going to open just for us so we can get week 1 in, which is awesome. They were able to open it, and we were able to start the season. There were a lot of people that missed. I think we had like 6 to 8 people that were missing.
Did we miss them?
Maybe.
Okay.
I mean, I was in Dallas. It was like 75 degrees, so it was
Jesus
super
Christ.
nice out. So the fact that
Yeah, keep going.
it wasn't playing when it was 42 degrees out, and people said the later tee times was very cold. But we'll get into some match scores here. And so first tee time that was out there was the Dirty Birds versus Beaver Party. And Beaver Party took the win. So Kevin and Tony with a 12-8 victory. So congrats on that win there. Start the season off strong. Our next match at 420 was a forfeit. So Nick Blackshaw and Matt both were not able to show up. So Different Strokes got a freebie win. So their points were 11.5 to 4.5 is depending on the Constitution and the rules for that. 4:30 tee time was Big Gulps versus the King and Duck. And with that, Big Gulps ended up losing to them 11.5 to 8.5. Next match at 440, we have Beauty and the Beast versus I Like Big Putts, which is a tie, 10-10. First tie of the year that we had. Then the 450, Par Than Bar versus Front Porch Fun Bags, defending champs. Defending champs start off with a win, 13.5 to 6.5. Jordan tried to hang on when I was out in nice weather, but unfortunately.
What does their team name mean?
Par Than Bar?
No, Front Porch Fun Bags. What does that mean, Dad?
It is their.
You'll tell me when I'm older?
You'll tell you when you're older, and just take a look at their logo. You'll understand what it
I've
is.
looked at their logo for sure.
Last match of the day was the 5 p.m. tee time. Bogey Bros versus 3-putt specialists, and Bogey Bros won 10.5, 9.5. So close nail biter there. So some close matches, some matches that were lopsided that had, they were done by probably hole 7 or 8. But going into some stats, so the largest margin of victory was, of course, the defending champs. Front Porch Fun Bags over my team, Par Than Bar at 7. Some other highlights when looking at it. So our lowest, highest gross. So highest gross, the award goes to Brian Palumbo with a 52 out there. But my co-host here, Jason Ack, was close at a 50. So a few more putts dropped for him than unfortunately Palumbo. But the highest net, there's a 3-way tie. Knack, Palumbo, and Dahl. And then looking at low gross, low net honors goes to Kevin Stroll on it.
I'm going to need another beer.
But
What was his lowest gross? What was his gross?
not 34. Not 34, which for the first week out, shooting not 34 is not too bad.
Was his gross?
Yeah, low gross was 38.
38,
Not
nice.
too bad in those conditions
Nice, Kev.
there.
Nice, good job.
So he takes the clubhouse lead for TGL at first place with 200 points there. If you haven't already done it, make sure you pay your dues. They're due by week 4. If your name is highlighted green on the spreadsheet, that means that I have you reconciled and you're accounted for. If your name is not highlighted, please get them in as soon as possible.
Don't be that guy. I will call you out personally on our next episode if you're not paid up. So, I'm paid, right? I think I paid. I should probably say that before I threaten everyone else. I'm pretty sure I sent it to you.
Yes.
I think I sent you $150.69.
Yep, $150. So you overpaid by 69 cents.
No, you keep that.
I appreciate the tip.
That goes in the slush fund. Good. Well, speaking of number 7 and number 8, big shout out to our boy Kurt for his second career ace on number 7 at Palatine Hills. Now, some say he might have thinned it to win it, but it doesn't matter. The scoreboard says he aced it, and shout out to him, man. That is awesome. You guys will probably be shocked to hear I don't have a hole-in-one yet in my career.
Neither do I. I don't have one yet.
You don't?
No,
Okay,
fortunately.
that's actually surprising.
Yeah. No.
Me, not so much. But you, that is surprising. But you've been close?
Yeah, a couple times it's been like 2 inches from the hole.
Had it in her mouth when the kids walked in.
Yep.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, there's no kids.
Okay, so well, that you know of. So Kurt, we went to JL's, had some good fun afterwards. And Kurt, so he picked up the tab as a gentleman, as he should, and we appreciate him for doing that. So we had a pretty good crowd there. We ate a lot of pizza and had a lot of beer.
I did go there again this Friday, so I'm not kicked out, so you guys were fine. my degenerate group that was there gambling, playing Golden Tee.
No slots though. We didn't.
No slots. I'm surprised, especially you. Out
Yeah,
of all people, I thought you would have been back there in that room. But
light on cash.
what do you think the tab was? How much do you think it set Kurt back to get that hole-in-one? Hole-in-ones are awesome, but it sets you back financially.
You have the number, right? So we probably had, I would say there was probably 8 or 10 guys there. Let's go with 10. I'm going to say the tab was about $200.
You are under.
Okay,
now.
so tax, tip, title, license,
Just
$250.
bill plus tax, no tip. Just
$250.
you are now over.
232.
232.
232.
Yeah, 232. So you're
69
close. You were close.
I was
You're
in
good
the
at these
range.
guessing games.
Yeah,
You're very good at these guessing games.
Listen, I'm not good at a lot of things, but I'm good at a couple. Okay. Anyway, tell us about next week's matches.
Next week, I was hoping the weather would be a lot better. High of 55, low of 32. It's supposed to be the coldest day of the next 7 days, which, boo, unfortunate. But next week's matches, again, we have a lot of key matchups. We have Par Than Bar, myself and Jordan versus Different Strokes, Steve and Maurice. We have Beauty and the Beast, Sean and Ryan versus Beaver Party, Kevin and Tony. We have 3-putt specialists, Dave and Ben versus Big Gulps, which is Matt and Jason. I like big putts, Tim and Brian versus Dirty Birds, Kurt and Ryan. Bogey Bros, Adam and Jacklo versus the King and Duck, Danny and Dave. And Front Porch Fun Bags, Jake and Chris versus 443, Matt and Nick.
Okay.
So we'll see what happens.
Again? Great.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah. Well, hopefully this is the last week that it's cold. They said it's supposed to turn from what I've heard. But it's going to be brisk out there. Bundle up.
Love it. Let's talk about some gambling, huh?
Ooh.
Okay, gambling. Get to the fun stuff, the stuff I like now. Tell me about gambling.
All right, Casino D Hikes. Looking at our under par count for the year, we've had 3 birdies last week, 1 eagle. Well, the 1 eagle was an ace. And we talked about it. Kurt had the ace. I think that's the first ace that I have seen since being in the league since 2012 on it, which is, it's a lot of rounds that we played.
I feel like it's kind of disrespectful that you called it an eagle, to be honest. Like, I understand you're the stats guy and it's like, that's what it is, but please don't ever do that again.
Yeah, that's what the spreadsheet has. I don't have something for a hole-in-one.
Okay, anyway, so can you tell us why you didn't have the casino last week? Because we were all looking forward to it and we didn't have it. So can you give us your excuse?
Well, kind of a big deal, and I was traveling around everywhere and just didn't get to it. I was traveling to California, played Pebble Beach and Paso Tempo, a bunch of different courses. Then I had a work meeting in Orlando, and then I had to fly home from Orlando to go back to Dallas, and now I'm back. And I don't have anything for a couple weeks. So Casino will be back this week. We put some lines in. But let's talk about last week. Some stats here. Some stats.
I wish I didn't have kids. Okay, yeah, you were being an adult, kind of. That's fun. I'm just jealous. This is coming from a place of jealousy. Tell me about the stats.
Stats. All right, our week 1 net average score was 38 compared to last year's week 1 of 39. So surprising the cold weather, everybody shot better than last year week 1.
Pick me. I have a question.
What's that?
Actually,
what do you
not
think?
a question. I have more of a answer daily double. I can tell you why we had a better score because there were a few people that missed last week that probably would have not helped with that.
Not because people were practicing in the
Nope.
off season.
No, nothing like that. But we were missing.
What's your theory? Let's hear
Nick,
it.
Tim, Danny, Howarth, Mo. I mean, with all due respect, I should have prefaced it, but we were missing a lot of high handicappers.
Ooh.
I mean, I was a 41 net, so let's go. I'm gonna put mine. I'll put myself in there. I hurt it again, but we didn't have those guys. So hey, thanks for not showing up and doing fun stuff and not dragging us down. We really appreciate that, and I love you guys.
You're a keen observer to pick that out because not everybody would see that.
I don't think everybody would say that either, but I
That
do
is
love
true.
those
You
guys.
just tell it how it is. You speak the
fine.
truth is what you do.
You know, listen, if you always tell the truth, you never have to remember anything. And I live by those words. So,
So what about the Masters? Let's talk about the Masters here.
Let's talk about it. Fucking Rory already had a double bogey on one. Idiot!
There goes my bet on him to win.
Yeah.
I'm sure his odds went up now.
So we were looking
Thanks
at
a lot.
we were looking at the live bets right before this, and Rory was what, minus 200. Bryson was plus 240, and Corey Connors, no respect, at plus 1600. Let's see what they got now.
What's
live
Rory?
update? Wow, Bryson is now even money,
Okay.
plus 100. Rory is plus 110.
Oh,
They have Aberg at plus 1200 now. I have a ticket on him.
you're telling me that my bet on Rory is probably gonna lose. Great. Should have
Very likely.
Should have cashed it out last night.
Is there a cash out option?
Dude, I don't know. I might as well just let it ride.
Oh man, it just went to minus 115 for Bryson. Okay, I'm gonna put that away.
Put that away.
Yeah.
No more bets. No more bets.
Yeah, like I said, so we're recording this episode. It's about 2 o'clock on Sunday. This is probably the best. This has to be one of the best Sundays of the year.
Masters is my favorite tournament. There's nothing like the back nine at Augusta with the par fives and the difficult holes and the drama it brings and the history. It's amazing. It's
Would you
amazing.
say that it's kind of like a tradition, unlike any other that you've seen?
That's a great slogan. They should use that.
Yeah, they better. But listen, I had a. This is not gonna age well, I don't think. But I had a dream last night of Rory putting on the green jacket. Yeah, I woke up rock hard.
You have a thing for Little Irishman?
I would prefer not to answer that because this is gonna go on the internet.
It's true. It's true.
But I don't not prefer the Irish show. So, yeah, I did have a dream of that, but this is not starting well, and I gotta feel like Bryson he just feeds off energy, man.
Yeah.
Like, Rory's like trying to downplay it. I heard him talking this morning. He's like, "Oh, I tried to watch some sports, some tennis, like not really a sport, but I try to watch some stuff to like keep my mind off of it." And Bryson's like, "Let's go, I'm excited."
I'm going to go to the range. I'm going to look at my phone. I'm going to probably not go to bed pretty late, and I'm going to sleep in to 10:30, you said this morning.
Yeah.
It's like, what? Where he's like, yeah, I'll wake up early, watch a movie, hang out with Poppy, and get to the course about 3 hours before. So 2 different mindsets.
Absolutely.
Kind of pulling for Rory. Like to see the Grand Slam. There hasn't been one. And since Tiger Woods did it, and I think it was 2002, I think, is when he did it.
That's the last Grand Slam.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it'd be fun to see Rory do that. But
yeah, I might bet suck. You said you were talking about some bets that you had. Anything else looking good?
no.
Okay.
No.
Same.
No.
Same.
No. Sometimes I wonder what I bet.
My safe bet this week was Phil Mickelson to make the cut.
Ooh.
So
Yeah, he blew up the last 2 holes, went
Yeah.
double, put it in the water.
didn't.
But trivia question for you for the Masters, since we have Steve on this show, lefty. So this year was a record number of lefties to play in the Masters. How many were there?
So just so the audience knows, I do not know these questions before. He just told me he had Masters trivia. Now, I heard them talking about this before the tournament started. So I think I know the answer to this one. How many lefty golfers?
Yep,
It was
that's
8.
Yep, that's it.
Yeah.
Can you name them?
Fuck no. Bubba Watson,
Yep, you got that one.
Harmon.
Yep.
Dude, what? Who else is a lefty? I'm missing probably some.
I mean,
big
you put a
names.
bet on one of them.
Phil Mickelson. Well, he's dead to me now that he didn't make the cut. He's dead.
Yep, that's true.
Okay, so that's 3. I mean, like, should I get most of these? Who else?
One was a past Masters champ that you haven't. named
Mike
yet.
Weir.
Yep.
Okay, thanks for that. Good clue. So I got 4.
Got 4 more.
This is I love this.
2, I think, are going to be very hard for you to get. One's a first-time PGA winner this year, just a few weeks ago.
Oh, is that the guy? Not Riley. No. He's a righty.
He wears, I think, a floppy hat. I think he wears like a.
Oh man, I saw. Yeah, okay. Greiserman.
No.
Was he a lefty or what was the guy's name? I think I did see that guy with like Hightower or something.
Yeah. Well, you're close. You're close. Joe Highsmith.
Okay, that's.
Joe, you're
I got
on.
him.
I'll give it to you.
Yeah,
you were there. You were
give
there.
me that one.
So you got 3 more. One, the guy probably weighs about 100 pounds soaking wet.
Me.
No.
No, yeah, we already talked about how I gained weight. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not a lefty. Steve Talon?
Steve did not make the Masters appearance this year.
He missed it?
Yeah.
He missed
but
the cut.
last three, Matt McCarthy, Robert McIntyre, the other Irish guy,
Wouldn't have got that.
and then Akshay Bhatia.
Oh, I should have got Batia.
Yeah, that's the
Batia
one
I
that,
should have got.
Yeah.
McCarthy or McCarthy?
McCarthy.
McCarthy.
Yeah.
And Matt?
Matt, yeah.
He's a first-time Masters guy,
Yep,
though.
yep.
That would have been a tough one. Okay. That was good. Good question.
Other things. So you heard about Nick Dunlap, right? What he shot in the first round?
I don't remember. I'm guessing not good if you're bringing it up.
Yep. So he shot a 90 in the first round.
Wow.
So did that tie the highest score ever in the Masters?
Did he break it? High score?
It was close. What was the highest score, do you think? There's technically two higher, but only one is actually official.
Oh, because someone withdrew or something? Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like mid-round?
They didn't turn the card in because they didn't want it to be official.
They were embarrassed.
They were very embarrassed.
Yeah.
I would be very embarrassed too.
Steve Talon.
Steve Talon? Yeah, you're right. No,
Oh! All right.
You probably wouldn't get it's what's the score? Let's just put the score.
Score?
The name
All right,
is
so
you're
90,
never gonna know.
So it's obviously higher than 90.
Yeah, it's higher than 90.
I'm going to say it's less than 100, though.
Okay.
I don't feel good about that now. 97.
Close. 95 by Charles Knuckle in
yeah.
1956.
Well,
But there was one 20 years ago. This is the one that guy didn't turn the card in.
called Charles Fist.
The guy that didn't call the card, and he would have had the highest score ever in Augusta history. What do you think that would have been?
So he just
Higher than 95.
Okay, so he finished the round, but he didn't turn in the card.
Yeah, so he got disqualified. Is what.
Okay, well, I'm going to go it's egregious. I'm going to go it's like a 112.
No. A
Not
little lower
that
than
bad?
that. A little lower than
Okay.
that.
102 then.
A little higher than that. 106.
Okay.
By Billy Casper
106.
in 2005, because he didn't turn his card in. I mean, that's crazy.
6.
Nick Dunlap, the next day, Friday, shot 71.
Jeez.
It's like, what, 19, 21, 18 strokes difference or something?
Yeah, 19 stroke. Wow. Wow.
That just shows you what golf can do. Sometimes you're good, sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe shit.
Yeah, I just shot a 50 at Palatine Hills, so I'm aware of how.
So yeah, Masters on. It'll be exciting. Right now it's 10-10. We'll see
Ooh.
what happens.
Bryson just drained one. Good stuff.
Ooh, takes the lead.
Oh!
Wow. This is going to be an exciting finish.
Yeah, Bryson.
But any other Master stuff? Anything else you're thinking of?
No, besides me waking up with a raging boner from Rory's jacket, no.
Okay.
And now I don't think it's going to happen. But there's a lot of golf left. But no, it's good, man. I love Sunday Masters. Like, this is probably the best Sunday of the year. Maybe less Father's Day. Very excited to announce our inaugural guest. Fuck you, Nick and Matt. For episode 2, Tea Time 102. We have Steve Talon. Thanks for joining us, bud.
Hey, glad to be here, guys. Glad to be here.
You look good.
Welcome.
Hey, trying. Every day, trying.
Maybe not good. You look okay. But really quick, before we get into some questions, we just want to get a quick word from our sponsor. Again, Lefty's Lawn Chairs. Quick word from our sponsors who is funding this episode.
Lefty's Lawn Chairs. Are you tired of right-handed lawn chairs forcing you to sit like a conformist? At Lefty's Lawn Chairs, we design our seats with a rebellious lean, just like your swing. Perfect for post-bogey sulking or pre-birdie strutting. Lefty's Lawn Chairs.
Oh, wow. Thanks to our sponsors for that. Yeah. Thanks, man. Appreciate that. Brian, tell us a little bit about Steve Talon here. This is the man, the myth, the legend.
Yeah. Well, welcome to the show, Steve. A little background on him. Handicap 10.9. As far as championship goes within the TGL, 0 championships, but he has been in 1 championship match on it. As far as an individual record, so this is you versus another player in the match, whether you play both players or 1 players. So since I'll be keeping track, you have 24 wins, 25 losses, and 4 ties.
Pretty average.
Very average.
Pretty average there.
Almost
Pretty
50-50
average.
there. As
Jesus.
far as your finishing spot within the TGL Cup is you average 11th place.
Fantastic. Outside
So
the
you're
money.
making
Outside the
cut-
money. Good. Good.
Above the cut
Good.
line. Above the cut line, though. Above the cut line. Ryder Cup stats, you've had 10 events, 16 wins, 19 losses, and 5 ties. Damn, you have.
Just under 500. God, I gotta pick this up.
You don't have any team wins though.
As a captain, I've been on some wins.
You've been on some win teams.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Got it.
Let's double check the stats. I've been on
errors and omissions.
Yeah, there might be errors and omissions.
But I was a captain once, and I did lose the only time I was a captain. So
Okay. Yeah, I remember you were on that winning team at Foxford Hills.
I won a couple.
I think you
we'll
were on
see
that.
if you won a couple.
We'll see.
We're gonna we'll confirm that.
We'll check the data.
Yeah.
As far as the year, when did you join the league?
2019.
2019. Man. Pre-COVID.
Pre-COVID. I was trying to get in the league. I was using my brother-in-law Jordan to try and help me out here, and he had a coworker Maurice that needed a partner, and me and Mo have been pretty average ever since.
I had no idea that you were Jordan's brother-in-law.
Really?
No idea.
Yeah.
This is amazing.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
The more you know.
The more you know. We're reading Rainbow.
And then just kind of give us a little background. What do you do? What's your,
so no, I've
work.
been for work.
besides
Yeah,
golf,
yeah,
you
yeah,
play.
yeah.
It seems like you're always on.
Besides
that
being a
point.
very average golfer. No, I've been in product management, vendor management, basically my entire career, so distribution. Worked at Granger, then now at Wesco. So, broadline MRO, all that fun shit. So it pays the bills.
Nice.
Love
Awesome.
that.
Well,
Can we get into some questions here, Brian?
yeah, let's get in some questions here.
Let's cut the shit and get to brass tacks, as they
It's
say.
about our guests. We've had our part. Now it's about the guests.
Love it.
Yeah, well, hey, step one, guests showed up.
True. Hey, shout out to
here.
Steve for
Got
actually
that
showing
going
up.
for us.
Well, and hey,
The first guest didn't
He
show
did
up.
have to crash his golf cart to get
We
here.
did bribe him with beer.
I do have a beer, and I did.
We can edit that out if you need.
No, I did test my golf cart's durability yesterday, and
Nice way to put it.
it's a fucking tank. Let's put it that way.
It is a tank. It is a
Be in
piece.
sales. I
is a
had to
tank.
test its durability. You hit a curve.
God damn it!
Had a rough few 24 hours. Let's put it that way. Golf cart
Need
crash.
more beer. Need more
Spilling
beer.
a beer here.
Yeah.
He's gonna send
but-
a choicely worded email
Yeah.
to that golf cart company.
All right. Let's get started with.
Let's get some thoughts on the season outlook here, Steve. Tell me what you're looking forward to about this year.
Yeah, no, I'm excited. So as we just said, 2019 is when we started. Mo and I got off to a hot start. We got into the championship. We lost. So, we were riding high, and we really haven't repeated that since. So, I think this year's the year. I know Mo has been taking some lessons, and he actually got married over the off season. So congratulations, Mo.
Oh, love that.
Hopefully that will help. I don't know. Sometimes marriage hurts the golf game. You never know how it's going to go, but we'll see how it goes. But yeah, I'm looking forward to get back out there. Obviously, the group of guys, the league has been awesome. Didn't like that I'm 500 from a statistical standpoint, so try to do a little bit better than that this year. That's what I'm looking forward to.
We're here to motivate as well as be transparent. with
Hey,
what,
the truth is the truth. Numbers don't lie.
what you do with it is, that's the
I
most
get it.
important thing.
I
from
get
here
it.
on out,
I get
right?
it.
So, what have you done to prepare for the this off season?
So actually, I have done some preparation this off season,
Whoa.
unlike most.
More than other off seasons.
More than
Better
than
than
others.
most.
Yeah.
Better than most.
Finally invested in some lessons, so I've taken
Good for you.
4 or 5 lessons already to this point.
Golf lessons.
Golf
right?
lessons.
Not like dance
well, I
lessons.
need life lessons, but yeah, golf lessons.
Both.
I wish I would. I wish I had a brother-in-law or a good friend, Jordan Kevin, would have suggested golf lessons. I don't know, 5-10 years ago. That would have been nice. But no, took some lessons. Actually, seeing some rewards of that work, which has been fun. Playing pretty well to start the season. So yeah, excited. Got off to a 1-0 start last week. Thanks Nick and Matt for not showing up. That was a nice, easy win to start the season.
We're finding a common trend.
There's
with
a
that
trend
team.
going on with that team, I guess.
Well, Matt wasn't the guy. It was just Nick.
Oh. But anyway, so,
Yeah.
got off to a good start. But yeah, I'm looking forward to getting back out there, getting back out with Mo, lowering some handicaps and seeing what we can do.
I did see that cute video of you with that instructor.
Oh, yeah, our instructor, he is,
You hit a draw,
yes, which
I've never seen that.
literally,
I didn't think it was possible.
Literally.
I saw
Me
it.
either.
I thought it was when he said you're drawing the ball. I'm like, there's no way.
No, there is no
There's
way.
no way.
If there wasn't a video, I'd be like, bullshit.
Yeah.
It is funny. It is interesting. He's basically trying to rewire my entire swing because I've been doing it wrong for the last 20, 30 years. So, but it's been good. It's been good to this point.
me
so.
too.
We'll see
Cheers
what
to that.
we'll see what Toast, Ghost, and Roast says about it.
Oh,
See how
shit.
that-
That's
yeah.
true.
You know,
That's a
with
good
that new
point.
segment, we'll see
Let's
what
give him a couple
what the
weeks.
truth is.
Yeah,
That's
Yeah.
true.
Whenever,
That's true. That's
whenever
a good
you
point.
show up or whenever Clubhouse Cheddar decides to
Yeah.
put you in the spotlight. But
Give him a couple weeks, Kev. But
Yeah.
I'd like
Yeah.
to see Steve in there for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
And you know what? I noticed last year at the end of the year, did Mo start taking lessons too?
Mo was taking lessons yesterday or last year too.
Because I noticed that when we played him, like just the way he was like approaching the ball, like his setup, and
Yep,
the way he was,
yep.
I was like, that's a concentrated effort.
team is committed.
Different strokes. We're trying. The effort is there. The
different
results.
strokes.
We'll see.
Can I ask just a quick question on the fly here? What is the meaning of your team name? Where's the?
So I think it stems from the TV show. Mo and I, we're different guys, but we
How
like
so?
we stroke it differently.
Oh,
Yeah,
for
but
sure.
we both, we both try to get into the hole.
Yep.
That's the end game.
he's a righty, you're a lefty.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And had to try to be somewhat clever. I don't know if
Yep.
it succeeded.
No, it's very good.
Yeah.
I like it.
But-
I like it. I like it.
I won't ask any
Good
other
team
additional
names.
drill down questions. Ryan, did you want to ask him something about something memorable, right?
What's your most memorable golf moment?
Okay, so there's been a couple. There's one recent that I think we're going to get into in a later section, but I think probably, it's hard to say a hole-in-one is not your most memorable.
Yeah.
So I think my most memorable was last year. It was in the preseason. It was at Itasca, 17th hole, which is now under construction, which we're all looking forward to opening up. I was playing with Jordan, Brian, and a member of Itasca, Josh, and it was a one bouncer or two bouncer, went in the hole, it disappeared. Jordan was the only one that thought it went in. Knowing my poor game, I thought, no, there's no chance in hell that went in. But it actually did, and so I think, getting my first hole-in-one only took 40 years, but that's probably the most memorable moment I've
it
had.
was awesome. And the hole itself is uphill. You can barely see the green surface. So, the pin was up, front left, I think is what it was.
Yeah,
so you can kind of
It's
see
about
it.
one
hop and just
115,
disappeared.
120.
Which is why Jordan said, I think that went in. Because normally you can't see where the ball is. And typically, if you would get a hole-in-one in that hole, you wouldn't even know you got it because you couldn't see it. So
Yeah.
the fact that he saw it, eagle eyes.
Yeah. So
Shout out to Jordan.
yeah, no, that was awesome, and now they're redoing the hole. The hole is going to open up Memorial Day weekend, so I'll just have to get another one.
Love
There
that.
you go.
I would like you to find out for the next episode, Stat Boy, of what percentage of golfers get a hole-in-one
Okay.
in their career.
Taking notes. Got it.
Just side
I'll
note.
bring that back next time.
Please. Thank you. Stat guy. Do you not like boy? You're pretty grown.
Whatever.
Okay.
Doesn't matter.
Little tension.
Awesome. And last question here, or not last question, but what would be your dream foursome?
That's a good question. I wish my dad was more of a golfer because I'd throw him in there, but he's really not. So probably my dream foursome would be Tiger, Arnold, Jack, and myself.
Ooh.
Man, bringing Arnold.
I wanted to be a more like, I play with Jordan and Kevin and Brian enough as it is. So
We're not
those
your dream
guys.
foursome?
No,
See
you
how it
guys,
is.
Unless it's Michael.
you guys are used and abused, but Michael would be. But I still think it's the Mount Rushmore golf. That would be fun to be in a foursome with those guys.
Yeah. Where would you play? Don't say Augusta.
I was gonna say Augusta.
I know. I can see it. Anywhere
Abandoned
but
dunes.
Augusta.
Pebble Beach,
Nickel Knolls par 3 course.
Apple
River
Orchard.
Heights, DeKalb, Illinois.
Well, that's awesome. That's the golf classic.
Yeah.
All right, Steve, we really appreciate you sharing all those great personal experiences with us, but we really want to hear about your and Brian's trip to Pebble Beach. And Jordan was there, and my brother-in-law, got it. And who else was there?
No, actually,
Just
Jordan
me and-
wasn't there. It was
Yeah.
just Heichel and
Oh,
I.
good! Good.
It's deep.
That's amazing. Well, Jordan, better luck next time. I got to hear all about this Pebble Beach trip. Tell me about it.
Yeah, well, all right, I'll start. I mean, this was first. I got to say, we got super lucky with the weather. That was the big concern. You know, you gotta. We signed up for this event a year in advance. You know, you're paying all this money. You have no idea, you know, what's going to happen in that time. And Kevin has been on this trip. He went 3 or 4 years ago, or the last time they had it, and he did not have the best luck weather-wise. So that was kind of the biggest concern I had. But it was great. We 5 courses, 5 of the best courses probably in the country in 5 days. The worst weather day was probably day 1. And all it was just overcast and a little wind. We didn't have any rain.
Sunday was bad with the wind.
Oh, I guess Sunday at the end. You're right.
30 mile an hour sustained
it got a little
winds,
gusty.
yeah.
But we went out early enough that day that for the most of the day we were fine.
Felt a little like P Hills. Really
It
windy.
was
A little more than that.
It was-
Balls are rolling off the green, blowing off the green on some spots.
you had to chip and putt and play the wind, which is always interesting. But no, like Pebble Beach. So obviously, you know, the day I was looking forward to since we booked it, Saturday was perfect. If we were better at golf, prime scoring conditions, no wind, great caddies, good group.
Did you guys go off as a twosome or did you have a...
No, we went out as a foursome. We had 4 caddies, basically the entire time. It was awesome.
How were the other 2 guys that you played with?
You know, we played with the same twosome 2 days in a row, and Heichel and I were a little worried about that going in. Like, they better be cool. They better
That could totally change the experience.
Well, yeah, and you never know. But these guys were kind of our age. They were similar vibe, so it was all good. The last day we played with an older father and son who were also, you know, just cool, and we got to know them a little bit throughout the week.
Nice.
But yeah, I mean, fucking fantastic. My memorable moment. So I birdied 7, almost had a hole in one
At Pebble Beach.
At Pebble Beach,
Wow.
number 7. I thought I was gonna have thousands and thousands of dollars of bill tab.
It's almost a hole in one.
It was
like what, 14 inches,
14
12
inches
from the
away.
hole?
I won closest to the pin. I birdied that hole. That's all that matters. Did I play great the rest of the time? Not really. But it was.
But you birdied 7.
But it was an unreal time.
That's
I don't know.
the short, like really downhill.
Yeah, the 80
with
yard
the water
just
all behind
yep,
it, right?
Yep.
Green is super small. It's
Wow.
crazy how small
Well,
it
that's
is.
the other thing. Pebble, you play this on the Sims all the time, right? You're at the simulators. You play Pebble Beach.
Yeah, right.
The greens are fucking tiny, which I had. You know, being there, it's just something you don't really realize. But I don't know, Brian. What do you think, man? What
Yeah,
was
I mean,
what's
after
your
playing
takeaway?
Pastempo and Poppy Hills, those greens were
Poppy
massive.
Hills, and you came out firing at Poppy. I mean,
Poppy-
your front 9 at
I
Poppy,
showed
you were
somewhat of a
almost
golf
even.
game.
Yeah, you were
Showed
almost.
somewhat
You
of a golf
were.
game. That's all it was that week. But crazy thing about Pastempo, if you didn't know, it's in Santa Cruz, California. It's top 30 public course in the country, and it was designed by Mackenzie Allister, or Alistair Mackenzie is what it is. The same guy that designed Augusta that we're watching right now. He also designed, I believe, Cypress Point. Or
Yeah,
Hill?
the number 2
It's
course in the world.
I
Yep.
think he did, or maybe not.
No, he did. He did.
Might have to fact check me on
Yeah.
that.
No, I think you're right.
But
I think he did.
He retired or lived off of hole number 6 at Pastempo because that was his favorite course that he designed. Not even Augusta. That was his favorite. And the green complexes were ridiculous. Like, there are greens that are 50 yards long, 30 yards wide, undulation everywhere.
Multiple
bowls,
tiers.
Like, it was insane. It was
For the crowd listening, Google Pasatiempo's 16th hole Tiger Woods.
yeah.
Thank me later.
Maybe if our production team, maybe they can throw that up. You know.
Yeah, maybe we put a little image of it. But
We also
of
have to
course,
hire them before we do that.
That's true, yeah. We don't
Well,
want
Lefty lawn chairs.
We don't want to
Can we get some money out of
Yeah.
our sponsors?
Can we get a little help, sponsors? I know you do things a little backwards. Jesus Christ.
But overall, it was awesome. Like, number 6 was my favorite hole. Just
Pebble.
looking at the par 5, famous at Pebble. But just the history, walking the same course that Arnold, Jack, Tiger. The weather was good. Didn't play the best, but I think I took like 300 to 400 photos. I mean, I was probably more focused on taking pictures and listening to the
As you
waves
should.
crash.
As you should. Was it kind of like a pro-am deal with you two? Like you're the pro and you were the am?
Kind of, yes.
How you guys played it? Or
I
did they
was
do a
more like
scramble?
the amateur then he was more like the pro.
No.
Yeah, we never believe you when you talk like that.
No.
Just so we know.
Hikes was
Just so
definitely the
clear.
pro, but it was a 2-man like team format. So like the 3 days we were there, I think we ended up finishing 9th, which out of
2014.
there was 24 teams,
Yeah.
so finishing 9th wasn't terrible. We definitely left some shots out there. I know I can say that for myself, and
That's respectable. Top
Hey.
10.
you know
Yeah. You're in the
we weren't
top
So
10%.
I think we represented ourselves well.
Nice, man. That's
It was
awesome.
good. It was fun.
I hope eventually, like, I get to go on a cool golf trip besides like Gull Lake, Michigan.
We go to Arizona. You get to play those courses.
I know Jordan's trying to get out to Pebble. You know.
Anyway, so that's awesome. Super excited for that's really cool though. That is. I mean, I think the listeners and the crowd will appreciate that, talking about Pebble Beach and that experience. I mean, those are once in a lifetime.
Yeah,
It was.
We don't have waves crashing anymore. We would every single day, breakfast, lunch, dinner.
Yep.
Wake up, we would just hear the waves crash, and now we don't hear that anymore.
I did come from the golf course to do this interview, and there's no waves.
I'm sure there's a sound machine you can buy so you can go
It's-
to.
it's
You don't know anything about that?
Yeah.
Should.
Well, that's why I'm here. Okay, so I got a little master's hypothetical for you, Steve. So you're gonna lay 0 on the furthest part of every green of every hole at Augusta. Okay, that's where you get to drop the ball. You get a caddy, and you can use any clubs you want. Are you making the cut?
Fuck no. I think anybody that's played with me over the last couple of years know that my putting prowess.
I mean, you switched to the claw grip, though.
So this year I'm excited. So I did switch grips. I do have the Lab. Shout out Lab putters. They're taking over the world. I know.
Well, they're not our sponsor.
Yeah,
Totally.
strike that.
Yeah.
We're gonna
Oh,
strike
You gotta
all
get
right,
rid
well
of
then,
that.
yeah,
Like, they're not
yeah,
paying
yeah,
us
yeah.
like Lefty Lawn Chairs is.
So I'm paying as much as I can for a putter. I'm throwing as much money and tech as I can. So we'll see. I'm excited this year because again of
What do you
the
think
lessons.
you would shoot? What do you think you would shoot? How many?
I mean,
These
Plus-
greens are huge. So okay.
+2 was the cut, right?
yes.
So you basically have to 2-putt every green.
No,
to be
3-putt.
even.
2-putt. You have to
3-putt. You're
4-putt
lying.
some of them.
Yeah, you're
Oh,
lying.
you're lying 0.
If you 3-putt every single one of them,
So it's birdies. Okay, I guess that's a good point.
I think you'd be able to make the cut.
I don't know. I
I think you'll be able to make the cut.
I don't know. Play again.
I think par 5 you have
No,
5 shots.
but
to
I'm
get it in.
also.
wait, 4-putt. You get to 4-putt.
Yeah, you
every
get the
hole.
4-putt almost every
But I'm
green.
also thinking about pasta tiempo. I mean, maybe.
The
okay.
furthest point of it is true. Like, if you're 50 yards away from the hole.
So like
But
maybe
you can use any club, and you have a
And
you
caddy.
get, and you get a caddy, like an Augusta caddy, so like that knows the course.
I would love to say I could 3-putt every green, but I
feel like that could be the difference maker.
I don't think I could.
If the caddy was an Augusta caddy, and they're like, "Hey, you need to drop this ball here, like you need to flop this here."
But the caddy's not
if you
hitting the putt.
4-putt
though.
every green, you shoot even par.
That's what I'm. Yeah, right.
You 4-putt every green.
Because it's 30,
that seems
36.
pretty
72.
make the
reasonable.
cut.
And
It's
that
a par
seems
72, right?
okay. That seems reasonable. I am still going with not making the cut.
All
Ooh,
right.
So you're going to 5-putt some of them.
Probably.
Can we add a little pause in front of his answer for dramatic effect later?
I don't know. We'll
Production
see.
team, work on
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
All right, that we don't have hired.
Yep. But no, that's a great question. That's always
Yeah, I mean, I would love to say I would. I would love, and hey, maybe after this year, full year with the claw grip, maybe.
What do
But
you-
right now,
what do you
I don't
think,
know.
Jason?
Absolutely I could. There's no doubt. My blind confidence is.
Yeah, you're
stupid.
putting your
But
your
you've always
best.
been
But
a
that is
putter.
my
You've
best-
always been.
Yeah.
That's my best part of my game.
Yes.
If
I
I have
remember
a
playing a
caddy-
scramble, a 2-man scramble with you in
That's what I'm
Arizona. The
See?
long game
no,
is not your
you-
game.
Yeah.
No, nothing long about me.
Yeah.
Except below
You
the
almost
waist.
killed people on other
Same.
balls.
That is absolutely 4 left.
four left.
Do you think?
Work!
What do you think? You think you could do it?
Oh yeah, I think I could.
I think
I,
you could.
I think Haiku could. I
I
think
think
Haiku could.
I would.
I would be.
But that being said, you still haven't joined our putting bet. So at some point, you're going to have to join the putting bet.
Do we want him in there?
Yeah, but that's a different bet though.
I know,
I don't
I
want-
know.
I mean,
I'm just
I
putting,
hit a
on-
lot
I'm
of
just
greens.
putting some pressure
I hit
on
more
you, so.
greens than anybody else.
Palatine Hills is pretty much Augusta. So
Same.
They
same,
got the
man.
undulations.
Same,
like-
same.
same, but different, but still same.
Keep those greens running quick. But no, awesome.
Well, speaking of commissioners, ask him the commissioner question.
All right. If you were the commissioner of the league, any changes you would want to see?
I don't know. I mean, I'm, our commissioners, they've been doing it for a number of years. You guys do a great job every year. I think the only change I would make would be finding a week or two or building in time where we do more of those kind of fun weeks where we're playing from the women's tees, or we're doing a scramble, or even like a worst ball scramble, or different formats to where it breaks it up every now and then. I think that's really the only change. I think you guys do a tremendous job with the schedule, with the newsletters, now a podcast. I mean, you run a tight ship. I think the only thing we could do is let's throw in some curveballs every now and then and mix it up a little bit. Other than that, no.
I like the way he's talking to you, Chip.
Got it. No, I'm taking notes. Try to remember for next year when we round table.
And I know it's hard because you got a set number of weeks and we got to get the schedule in.
Yep.
But if we get lucky with
That's
some
good.
rain,
We've had some other feedback on they like the fun events when we were playing different things.
you're hitting different shots, you're doing different things. Hell, even maybe different partners every now and then. Like you switch up teams and partner versus partner showdown. I don't know.
Your
Who
partner would
knows?
definitely like that.
He would love it. He's can't wait to get rid of you. He is chomping at the bit. For that.
And then, so any other last remarks you have?
No, I
Anything
think
else
this.
in your mind?
No, I
Plug
think.
anything?
What's in that noggin of yours?
No, I mean,
thoughts?
I can
You
go
wanna ask
for
people
I can
for
go
a
for
golf
another
cart?
Yingling, but other than that, no. I mean, this league has been fantastic since 2019. The guys, the boys, talking shit, and now I was just telling somebody we've got a newsletter, we've got Excel standings that go back however many years, and now this podcast. I mean, I would be hard pressed not only to find another league in the area that does this kind of stuff as well as golfs as well as we do. I will put up our crew against anybody else around, and no, man, let's just keep it going as long as we can.
Cool.
I'm not touching it, just because you said that. Just so you know. Anyway, let's
All
guess
right.
the.
Last thing we have here is we're
the
going to do
outcomes,
a
predictions.
match guess.
Can I interrupt you before
Yeah,
you introduce
yeah,
this?
Yep.
We still need a name for this segment. This goes out to the listeners, and also Steve, if you can come up with something. ChatGPT sucked when I asked them.
Okay.
They came up with like
Somehow the
10.
robot didn't work.
Yeah, the robot was
Usually
bad
it
on
always
this one.
works.
Yeah, but we need like a like bold predictions right on NFL.
Oh,
game day,
right,
like
right,
something
right,
like
right.
that, but maybe a little more creative. So just
All
keep
right,
that
I'll
in
think
mind.
about it. I'll
But
think about it.
anyway,
Yep,
sorry,
yep.
Brian. Go ahead.
All right, so at the end of the podcast, our guests, we're going to give you where there's going to be 3 matches for the week, and we're going to guess who we think is going to win next. So with this, we'll start off with Jason. Our first match that we have to guess is Beaver Party versus Beauty and Beast. Who do you think is going to win that one?
Two highly experienced teams.
Who is who?
Who are these people?
That's right. I remember. You don't know
No,
who
Sean
they
and
are.
Ryan against
Kevin and Tony.
right?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go with Beaver Party.
Okay.
Partey for this match. I know Sean and Ryan have the experience. I think Tony's the wild card. I think if put a couple holes together, I think they can pull it out.
All right. Jason, what do you think?
I'm actually also going to go with Beaver Party because I think that Sean and Ryan do a fantastic job of handicap management, and I mean this in the most respectful way.
Sandbaggers.
Throughout the year, like they do a really good job of setting themselves up for the playoffs. Like, again, strategery. No disrespect. I'm not throwing shade on them. I would throw shade on them all day. But I think Beaver Party is going to take it out early in the year. If you had them facing off later in the
End
year,
of the season.
I think I would go
Well,
the
Sean
other
and
way.
Ryan are always near the
Okay.
end. They're
Right.
always right there.
So I'm going to go Beaver Party.
All right. Well, I'm going against you guys. I'm going Beauty and the Beast. I think the handicap they have versus to come over that, the strokes in the cold weather, I think it's going to struggle. Tony's old body doesn't adapt well to cold, so
His old bones.
I'm going with Beauty and the Beast over Beaver Party.
Same question I had earlier about front porch fun bags. What does Beaver Party mean, Dad?
They are party animals.
Okay.
They
Very good.
represent the beaver, and I don't know why they like
Represent
that,
the beaver. Okay.
but they just like to party and have fun.
Are they hairy beavers or... Okay. So, all right, what's the next matchup? Sorry.
All right, moving on. Our next matchup is Bogey Bros versus the King and the Duck. What do you think, Steve?
All right, I'm going just because, again, we mentioned 2019. Mo and I made the championship our first year. We came up against King and the Duck. I'm going King and the Duck on this one.
Okay.
I think they don't have much handicap to play with, but I just think they have this one in hand.
All right. What do you think, Jason?
I'm going Bogey Bros out of spite because we lost to Dave.
Ooh, there's resentment there. I like it. Mm-hmm. You know what? It's hard because Danny might come off firing. He's all relaxed. I think he just came back from Mexico. He was out playing today. But Bogey Bros, I haven't seen Jackal play a lot, but I've seen Adam jump in there.
He was a little cold.
He was a little cold
on the first week.
Yeah,
Dan.
I'm gonna go with the King and Duck.
Is D'Lo the king? Is Danny the duck?
I don't know. We'll have to ask them that. I have
That's
no
a good
idea.
question.
Yeah.
I'm not calling Dave king.
We'll call
You don't have to. You can
Not
do
even
it.
if there's a fire.
All right. Last match is Front Porch Fun Bags versus 443. Steve, what do you think?
All right.
So we got Nick and Matt versus the defending champs, Jake and Chris.
You know, I love Jake and Chris. They won the first year out of the gate. I think they're gonna struggle. I think a little bit in year 2.
Ooh. Okay.
I'm gonna go 4 for 3 here with the win.
Okay.
But love both teams.
Little sophomore slump. Okay.
You know, it happens to the best of us.
All right. Jason, what do you think?
I'm going to go, and again, I need to preface this with all due respect. Front Porch Fun Bags, they have a little bit more insulation than the other team, and it's still cold out. So I think that their warmth will help them with their swings staying smooth, and they will win.
Okay.
12-8.
Ooh,
and even a score.
Wow. I mean, you're probably still just upset that Nick didn't join the cast. It's probably what it is, too.
I don't want to talk about that anymore. Please stop bringing that up.
Noted. I'll make a note next time. For me, I think with the amount of off-season things that are going on with the defending champs, they got out to an early lead, some good scores. I'm going with Front Porch Fun Bags as well on that one. So
That's a great segment. I can't, you know what, we're going to have to
We'll come
talk
up with some
about-
name. We'll get a good name.
Yeah, we need a name. If you got, listeners out there, all the listeners that are listening to this, we need to know.
all 33.
Yeah, we're up to 33 views?
Yeah, that's
nice.
That's
Nice.
33 more than we thought we would get.
Well, are we going to take out ours? Because,
So 31 more.
yeah, it's pretty good.
I think I listened to it twice, so maybe 30.
But listen, Steve, we appreciate you showing up and being our first guest on the podcast.
Love it, guys.
We had fun. I hope you had fun. Thanks for spilling all over our stuff. But
Such a joke.
No, but we do appreciate you coming out. And for everyone out there, we're looking forward to week 2 and all these matchups, these nice matchups we have. And I hope you guys are enjoying the Masters as much as we are, because Rory is definitely going to win this. So, Brian, you got anything else that you want to add for the group?
I'm just hoping. I'm pulling for Rory. He's up by 3. Not only because I have bets on him, but I want to see him win the Grand Slam. It's been, I think, since Tiger.
Yep.
But
Good stuff. Well, thank you guys. Thanks for listening. Like, subscribe, and follow. Again, I don't know what the fuck that means, but just do it. And we're going to see you guys next week, all right?
peace out.
Later.
Sometimes may be good, sometimes may be shit.
Better than most. Just a bit outside. Here's the draw. 2, 1. The shot. That's the end of the game.